In this tutorial, we're going to explore accounting strings, how to use them and what each part means. The accounting string you'll see is a string of letters and numbers that will show both you and accounting specifically where your revenues and expenditures come from. As you can see, the first part of the code is 2 letters. It'll be designated as either UR or PR, unrestricted or donor-restricted funds. In this case, this string shows us that the funds are unrestricted. A donor can restrict incoming funds by putting a time restriction on when the funds can be used, or also a purpose restriction on how the funds can be used. For instance, if a donor writes a check and writes Johnny's house in the memo, that means that there is a restriction on how the funds can be used. The donor has designated that for use with Johnny's house, so it will say PR. Next in the string will be these 4 digits. This indicates the GL code, also known as the budget account. Always start with how the funds were used when deciding what GL code to use for expenditures. So, if you used it for office supplies or airfare travel, you will code the expenses to that natural category that makes the most sense for how the funds were actually spent. After the GL code is the division code. This is a D followed by 3 numbers. The division code tells accounting the department that the transaction relates to. So, your division code will let accounting know that the transaction came from U.S. ministries. Directly following the division code is the location code. The location code will tell us specifically which office location the revenue or expense relates to. And finally, we have the project code. You'll see this also called the GAU in Salesforce. This lets you track revenue and expense by event or groups of events. For example, all family retreats can be reported under one project code, and then can be distinguished by date or other description if need be. An area ministry might conduct several projects or events each year, including family retreats, warrior getaways, and various fundraising events. By assigning a project code, we can budget and track the revenues and expenses for a specific event or groups of similar events. It is very important to remember that every revenue and expense transaction requires a project code. We hope that you've found this tutorial helpful. Remember that you can always visit the Accounting Vine page for more help and links.